begin our session by offering our prayers to the Guru Parampara. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapadakammalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Agrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganam Lalitam Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaurabhaktavi Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dhinatarinam. Hare Krishna Adarsh Singh ji. So with gratitude, I welcome all of you to this program on the Pravesa. This is our second session on the topic of Sadachar. In the last session, we have discussed about Atma Shaucham. Atma Shaucham is about the purity of mind. In the last session, we discussed about the importance of maintaining purity of our mind and consciousness even before we embark upon having a consistent spiritual practice or to receive knowledge. Yeah. And so that was a very interesting session. Today is a very, very fine topic called Gauravam or respect. So I request all of you to kindly pay attention and keep aside your mobile or other gadgets or any other disturbances. And with focus, if you can take this and absorb this session, I can assure you that the quality of your life will never be the same again. So let us begin our session. Topic today is respect or Gauravam. So be it, day-to-day relationships between two friends, or between parent and child, or between teacher and student, or between spouses, wife and husband. Any relationship to sustain, the foundation is respect. It is said that relationships can survive even if there is no love, but they cannot survive if there is no respect. Respect is a very, very important ingredient, a quality that has to be carefully cultivated by taking a deeper look at every relationship we have, either with a person or with even nature. Yeah. So this is the holy month of Dhanurmas. Yeah, Dhanurmas is where we worship Goda or Andal, who has married Ranganatha Swami. And who is Goda or Andal? She's Bhudevi herself. So we are worshipping Goda or Andal, Bhumi Devi, but we are not being eco-friendly or respecting the nature, environment, or the earth around us. And we are causing a lot of pollution. And what kind of a respect is it towards Goda Devi? So the sensitivity to our surroundings, to our relationships, is enhanced through the quality of respect. So respect, the very name, comes from, let's take a closer look at this word respect. So re-inspect, the word spect, it it comes from to see, spectacle, spectacles that we wear, to be a spectator. Yeah, to spect means to see. Yeah, re means to do something again. So respect as such, if we see the word, take a closer look at it, it means to take a look again at something. In other words, it means to take a closer look at something. That's what the word actually means, respect, respect, to look again. So what does this meaning, what does it mean to look again? It is a tendency of the human mind to become very familiar with objects or relationships around us and take them for granted, as a result of which there is a gradual depreciation of respect. Right? That's a tendency of human mind. But what is respect calling for? To take a closer look. So if we don't take time to, take a closer look at things and people around us, we just take things for granted. Yeah. The people around us who love us so much or who give us so much, like our parents or our, our own spouse, we say, yeah, they're giving because they have to give. I don't have to recognize that fact, right? So that's becoming familiar. And also the holy name, and most of you are doing your sadhana. Yeah. So if we do not have this attitude of respect or recognize it for what it is, there's a tendency to take it for granted. There's this beautiful bhajan called Madhura Madhure Bhyopi. Yeah, in that bhajan, it's beautifully sung. Aho dukkham mahadukham dukha dukha taram api kachartham vismriteratnam harirnamaiva kevalam. So the poet is singing that Aho Dukkham Mahadukham. What is the greatest tragedy of this world? Is it that Kachartham Vismrite Ratna? Yeah, Dukkha Dukkataram Api. That means this is more tragic than the greatest of tragedies. What is it? Kachartham Vismrite Ratna. That is, you're mistaking a very, very precious jewel to be a broken piece of glass, and you're not understanding its value. Yeah, Kachartham Vismritera, Harir Namaivati. So holy name is like the most precious jewel, the rarest jewel that we could have ever got. But we are disrespecting it, thinking it to be an ordinary piece of glass. So this is what happens, that is why this whole topic of Sadachar before sadhana. Yeah, because we have the ingredient for our success in our spiritual journey. But why are we not able to be consistent? Is because we don't have this quality of respect. The very verse, the third verse in Sikshastakam says, Prinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. So if a person has these three qualities, then chanting of the holy name is consistent. Your sadhana is consistent if it is without any breaks. What are those three qualities? Humility. What is humility? Humility is not some kind of, an inferiority complex. Yeah. Humility is understanding that I am not the center of this universe. I am part of this universe. The center is Krishna. Acknowledging this truthfully after having understood it and realized it is humility. Yeah. And then next ingredient, tolerance. Yeah. Tolerance is we understand that not every relationship is, it acts according to my whims, my expectations. Not everybody has to act according to my expectation. There are people who are like-minded, gel well with me, but there are also people who are not, and I have to simply tolerate it. Yeah, this is tolerance by understanding that change is the only constant in this whole universe, and not everybody and everything is existing to fulfill my expectations. Yeah, and I'm here to serve. So when you understand this, you develop what is called tolerance. Yeah, humility, tolerance. And third and most important, amanina manadena. That is always being eager to respect and not expecting any respect in return. Yeah, amanina manadena. That is when Kirtaniya Sadahari. That is when our spiritual practice, our sadhana is consistent. So until then, sadhana means it's a struggle, right? It's up, goes up and comes down. But when we understand and learn to practice these three golden principles of Trinadapi Sunichena Tharodivasa, especially Amanina Manadena, actually, it is said that whenever we offer genuine respect without expecting any respect in return, yeah, it actually invites blessings of the higher powers in our life. We become very pure at heart. So today in this session, we're going to discuss some very, very interesting episodes from the scriptures. So first, let us see what happens when we don't respect. I'll give you some very powerful examples. They really drive home the point about what happens when we don't respect. Yeah, and then after that, we will also see some beautiful examples from the Shastras, about which exemplify respectful dealings. So when we look at the Bhagavatam, the sixth canto of Bhagavatam, when we read, we go through this episode of Indra, offending Brihaspati. Yeah, and also Indra not honoring the garland that has been given by Durvasa Muni. Yeah, so it is Durvasa Muni gives a Mahagarland to Indra because he's the king of the heavens, and Indra does not show appropriate respect to that garland. And he just takes off the garlands and puts it on Airavat. That is his, personal carrier. Yeah. So Airavat, it's an animal, it didn't know what this garland is. So it just threw it off and just trampled upon it. So that was a great offense. It is said that, I will show you this beautiful verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah, let me share this. You can all take a closer look at this verse. Bhakta pada dhuliyara bhakta pada jal bhakta bhukta avashesha tina mahabal. So this is saying that bhakta pada dhuli, that is the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee, or bhakta pada jal, the water that has washed the feet of a devotee, and bhakta bhukta avashesha, remnants of food eaten by a devotee. Yeah. So these three are very, very powerful, and the remnants of, these three are very powerful substances. So the remnants, anything that has been touched by great personalities, are to be honored with respect because they carry a lot of potency with them. Yeah, what is a charanamrit which we get in the temple that we drink? It is that which has bathed the Lord, right? We all go to temples and they give us tirtha. What is a tirtham? A tirtham is nothing, is that water, that holy water that has bathed the Lord. That means it's a remnant. Yeah. And sometimes, yeah, when we go to a temple, they give some flowers in our hand. What is that? The flower that has worshipped the Lord, that has touched the lotus feet of the Lord. It's the remnant. Yeah. So anything that has come in contact with the Lord is, all his pure devotees is filled with the potency. It is a Mahaprasada. And we should learn and know how to respect it and honor it. So Indra did the very tragic mistake of not respecting that Mahagalan that he has received from Durvasa Muni. As a result of which what happened? He was cursed. He lost his entire, uh, you know, uh, precedence over the heavens. Yeah, he lost his position. So it was during that time that he received a curse by his own spiritual master Brihaspati. Was his spiritual master Brihaspati was displeased with him, and that's it. All the asuras understood this is the right time. They went and pleased their spiritual master Shukracharya, and they rose to the position. Yeah. So a personality as great as Indra, just because of that momentary disrespect that he has shown, forgetfulness of being forgetful. Disrespect is shown in two ways. Yeah, one is by through commission, and one is by omission. What are these two ways? Through commission means by committing a gross offense purposefully. Yeah, that's what is commission. The second way of showing disrespect is by omission. What is omission? Being indifferent, failing to show respect. So that's omission. So what did Indra do? Like when there's also another episode where Indra, when Brihaspati walked in, Indra was so like the heavenly planet system. So that's a very dangerous, because there is so much of worship, so much of comfort, so much of pleasure, that there's a tendency to get so lost in it that we fail to be grounded. And so it's very important to learn how to handle success also. Yeah, because if we are flying too much and we fail to put our feet on the ground, within no time we'll be swept off the floor. So Indra was in that position. What he did, he just did not acknowledge the presence of his spiritual master Brihaspati entering into his chambers. So as a result of which, what happened? Brihaspati was displeased. Yeah. And he received a very bad curse that he immediately fell down from his position. So in this way, when we forget as I said, through commission and through omission, one is to purposefully show disrespect, and omission is by being forgetful or being indifferent or being slack in showing the right respect at the right time. Yeah. So these are the things which invite misfortune into our lives. So here we see from the classical example of Indra how he has, because of not showing respect, he has invited misfortune. So the other example is we see that in the pastime of Balaramji, he has in the case of Romaharshan Sut. So Romaharshan Sutta was a great speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Was a great speaker. And but as he was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, Balaramji has entered into the hall. And Romaharshan Sutta again did the mistake of not acknowledging his presence. Yeah. So whenever we are given a position or honor or respect, one should be very, very conscious and cautious of one's position and not become oblivious, to one's surroundings. So here Romaharshan Sutta was speaking Bhagavatam and Balaramji has come and Balaramji, saw Romaharshan Sutta. He didn't acknowledge his presence. So Balaramji immediately, he killed him, murder on an assassin. Yeah, so one might think this is too much of a punishment for a minor offense like this. But no, one who is given a leadership position, a responsible position, is supposed to be more cautious in observing the finer details of etiquette. So Romaharshana Sutta, being sitting on Vyasasana, is supposed to be, representing, the fine etiquettes expected of a devotee. And here, because he didn't show respect to a great personality, who's the Adi Guru Balaram himself walking in, so he did not tolerate it. So through the example, he wanted to give the world an example, lesson that how important is the element of respect is. It's a very, very powerful example. I mean, if you simply meditate on it, one is on the toes. Yeah, how profound, how important it is to offer respects. And after having killed, very interestingly, so very interestingly, after this, the next part, what happens after this is since Romaharshana Sutta was killed, but before that, the Brahmanas actually, before he begins speaking Bhagavatam, the Brahmanas profusely offer their blessings to Romaharshana Sutta, that may you live long. So when they offer these blessings, Balram felt very sensitive. Yeah, he wanted to respect the word of the Brahmanas. Yeah, because a Brahmana's blessings cannot go in vain. So that is when he has made, Sutta Goswami, his own son. He was given this position of the speaker of Bhagavatam. So because it is said that a father lives through his son. Yeah, this is what the scriptures say. So that is why he has given his son the same position that Romaharshan Sutta had. And in this way, Balaram showed his respect to the Brahmana's words. So this culture of respect is very much a most important ingredient in the realm of devotion, in the realm of spirituality. So, and whenever there is a deviation, we always see misfortunes that are happening, catastrophes, crisis. We see a catastrophe happening. We see this in the Maushala Leela. Yeah, in the Maushala Leela of, in Dwaraka, Lord Krishna's son, Samba. Yeah, what did he do? He has um, disguised himself as a girl, as a pregnant woman. Yeah, and they went to Narada Muni where he was seated along with other great sages. And in a very, in order, here is, an enemy of respect. Enemy of respect is what is called frivolity. Have you heard of the name frivolity? Yes. So what is frivolity? Frivolity means kind of, it's not exactly mocking or making fun. Frivolous means a careless attitude. Yeah. Jeering or careless attitude towards especially elders. So, so with that attitude, this Samba, along with the other brothers, has approached this Narada Muni, in the garb of a pregnant woman, and asked, "Can you tell us, O Narada Muni, whether she's going to give birth to a boy or a girl?" So this is what is frivolity. Yeah, would anybody do that to the sages? Yeah. So this is again familiarity. Familiarity makes us come down to frivolity. So we should be very, very careful in our dealings with, especially Vaishnavas, the devotees of the Lord. One should never get into the mode of familiarity and, or getting into the zone of frivolous nature. So sometimes, because of our being with devotees for a long time, we may tend to develop this attitude of, yeah, she's my friend. Okay, I can say anything, I can do anything. Yeah. Or if we spend a lot of time, especially with us, with senior devotees. Yeah. So there's a tendency to, make that familiarity come into the dealings. So here is how Samba, asking this question, has approached Narada Muni along with the other sages. Others say, no, of course, whom are you trying to fool? It's Narada Muni, and the rest of the sages, they've all, they can just read minds. What to speak of a question like this? Immediately they understood what's happening behind. So what was the result? Such a unfortunate and devastating curse. They received a curse that, yes, to you will be born a pestle, and this pestle will destroy the entire Yadu dynasty. Yeah. What's the price they paid for not having shown proper respect? Yeah, that was so much to be, deserved of Narada Muni and all the great sages there. So here, like we see many, many examples in the scriptures of Srimad Bhagavatam that, because of lack of respect, how great personalities have fallen down. Imagine the whole dynasty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna himself, it got wiped out because of not showing respect. There can't be a heavier lesson than this as to what can happen when we do not show respect. So we also see that even expecting respect can prove very costly. That's what we have learned, right? Amaina manadena. Always being eager to offer respects and not expecting anything in return. Yeah, so this is the standard that is necessary to be consistent in our sadhana practice. We'll also see what happens if, when someone has when somebody is eager for respect. So we see in this, again, turning back to the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, the pastime of Daksha Prajapati. Yeah, Daksha Prajapati is, who is Daksha?
Parvati's father.
Yeah, the father of Parvati Devi. Yeah, Sati. Yeah, not Parvati, Sati. Okay, Parvati is in the next life. She's the wife of Lord Shiva. The previous life, her name is Sati. Sati is the daughter of Daksha Prajapati, right? So Daksha, so he has arranged for a very grand yajna, yeah, Daksha yajna. So to that, I mean, of course, he did not invite Lord Shiva. That's what happened later. But previously, what happened is when Lord Shiva has come and he sat there, Daksha entered into the hall. So when Daksha entered into the hall, everybody, basically he's a Prajapati. That means he's like the person, of the entire world, the king, Prajapati. Very word means that he is the predominating personality of the entire world. So everybody got up offering his respects, offering their respects to him, but only Lord Shiva did not stand up. So why he did not stand up is because he was lost in his own meditation, meditating upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this really struck Daksha very badly. So, when a person is so addicted to honor, yeah, when they do not see how many people have respected me. One person did not show respect, and that hits hard. Yeah. So that's how Daksha Prajapati got so affected. Like so many people are, showering accolades, singing honors and glories to him. But okay, he's fine. Yeah, I deserve it. But one person did not show respect. It really hit him bad. It really agitated his ego so much. Yeah. So this is what happens when we are eager for respect, when we are eager that, somebody needs to respect me. One cannot be stable in one's sadhana. This was Daksha Prajapati. He got so affected by the manner of Lord Shiva. And what happened later is, I really want to go into the details. Uh, Interestingly, the fourth canto, it's also called From Godhead to Goathead. Why? The first chapter is how Dhruva went back to Godhead of the fourth canto. And the last chapter is how Daksha got a goat head. Yeah, and it's a long story how Daksha ended up getting a goat head. Maybe some other time we can discuss about this. But so he actually went through a major downfall. He was even beheaded. He didn't have a head. They had to replace it with a goat's head. It's a lot of so this is what happens when we expect respect, especially from great personalities, and that too a respect that we don't deserve. Yeah. It's a very, very strong lesson again. So also, of course, Bhagavatam also speaks many pastimes of where respect and honor had really brought in a lot of prosperity and happiness into the lives of devotees. Before going to Bhagavatam, I'd also like to recall some pastimes of the Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, we see the two contrasting personalities. So one is the Kauravas and the other is the Pandavas. The Pandavas, if you read through the entire Mahabharata, you see that wherever they are, yeah, be it in the jungles or forests, or they are wallowing in the greatest of riches, like in the Indraprastha, or all those, or in the when Yudhishthir Maharaj has become the emperor. At all times, they had always shown great respect to the Brahmanas, to the sadhus, anybody visiting their kingdom. Yeah, they were given great respect, and Yudhishthira Maharaj was known to give so much charity and hospitality to the Brahmanas. Yeah. In fact, when he was losing the gambling match with Duryodhana and Shakuni, the only thing that he pleads is, you take everything, but do not eye upon the land that I had earmarked for the Brahmanas. So that's the respect that he always carried for, the great sages and the Brahmanas. And even when they were in the forest, whenever they met Vyasa Maharshi or any sages during their entire period of exile, there are very deep and beautiful descriptions of how Yudhishthir Maharaj has honored the great sages and had simply heard from them by washing their lotus feet and with water and then sitting at their lotus feet and just hearing from them. He's the emperor of the world, but see the respects that he has offered to the Brahmanas and the great sages. And what is the result of it? They've always won great favors. Vyasa Maharshi was always there to guide them, and he profusely blessed them with guidance, with direction, and with a lot of siddhis that were needed for their victory at the end of the day. On the other hand, the Kauravas, they actually, what their approach, see, this is very important again. So the Kauravas also tried to, give a lot of charity and do a lot of yagyas, and they also showed respect, but it was very superficial. Yeah. And it was always with the intention of gaining something from them. Like, for example, when Durvasa Muni has visited Duryodhana, he offered him excellent hospitality. Why? Because he wanted to use him as an instrument, because Durvasa Muni's anger is very well known to Duryodhana and the entire Kauravas. So he manipulated him in such a way, saying that, this is the time you should, right now the Pandavas are all staying at the Kamyavan. You go at this time, after the noon. So that's when they'll be ready with their lunch. So, he directs him in such a way it's at a particular time where they have completed their meal in the Akshay Patra. So, so that his idea is if Durvasa Muni goes and along with his 10,000 disciples to Kamyavan, where the Pandavas are staying, and expect them to, serve them food. And, when they reach there at a time when, the Akshay Patra serving is finished and Draupadi has kept it inside, it can't serve the meal until the next day. It serves only once a day. And once it is washed, it cannot serve the meal again. So when Durvasa Muni along with his 10,000 disciples approach the Pandavas, then at that time, when there is no food, then, he would be highly displeased. And, that will lead him to curse, that will make him curse the Pandavas. So all this kind of planning went on in the mind of Duryodhana. And to get that done through him, he offered elaborate respects and, through a grand feast and, by washing his feet, all the etiquettes he followed. But what was his intention? His intention was to use him as an instrument to ruin the Pandavas. So respect is not some kind of an external detail or an etiquette. It is also the intention. Yeah, apparently the Kauravas and the Pandavas offered the same etiquettes in respecting the saintly class, but the intentions were absolutely, diametrically opposite. Okay, so before I go to the next topic, I'll ask one quick question. Why should we offer respects to the saintly class? Why should we offer respects to the saints? Yeah, is my question clear? To show our surrender to them, okay? To get their blessings, okay? Any other thoughts? There is no right or wrong answer for this, but I'm just inquiring.
Because everybody has super soul within them.
Okay, because everybody is divine. Okay. Yeah, super soul. That's there amongst, the seniors, the equals, or the juniors also. Okay, in that way you respect everybody. But my question is why you respect the saintly class? The great teachers. Because excellent, very, very nice answer, Madhushri. This is what I was looking for. Because they are great, we have to show respect. That's a perfect answer. Because they are worthy of worship, because they are worthy of respect. We need no other reason why we have to respect them. It's not expecting anything. Acknowledging their contribution. Excellent. These are all very wonderful thoughts. As they are worshipping the Supreme Lord. Very good. Very nice consciousness this is. Because, yeah, they deserve it, Shivangi. Very, very nice answer. Okay, then my question, Adarshji, is that why should we respect the saintly class, the saints, or the teachers, especially who teach spiritual subject matters? Why should we respect them? Yeah, respect can help us a lot in to get their blessings. Yes, these are fine, but simply because they are worthy of respect, because they are in that great position of devotion to the Lord, or just acknowledging their superiority, one bows down their head. Yeah, that's what is the prayer to the Guru, right? Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma Vando Muri Savadhana Mate. Yeah, that is, I offer my respects to the spiritual master by carefully, respectfully lowering down my head at his lotus feet. Yeah, these are just not words. It's also an attitude. It is more importantly the attitude, right? When we truly cultivate this attitude from the depth of our hearts by appreciating these lessons from Bhagavatam, then, the whole process of bhakti comes alive. it becomes juicy, it nourishes our heart, and then there is no reluctance to practice. It happens as a natural flow. That is why cultivating these qualities is so important. Yeah, now I'll tell you some very beautiful example from Chaitanya Charitamrita of how the glorious Srinivas Acharya, Srinivas Acharya, he attained love of God simply by having the right attitude of respect. Yeah. So once, it's a very beautiful pastime. Srinivas Acharya visits Janava, Mother Janava. Yeah, Janava Devi is the consort of Nityananda Prabhu. So when he visits Mother Janava, she tells him, go and visit Abhiram Thakur. Yeah, Abhiram Thakur is known for a very special quality, a special, let's say, what do you call it? Opulence. What is it? Vibhuti. I'll tell you what that opulence is. He had a whip, okay, whip in his hand. This whip is called Jai Mangal. Okay, Jai Mangal. So what is the speciality of this whip is, whomever he whips with his whip, they get love of God. Okay, very, very special whip this is. So this was known to very devotees around. So Janma Mata said, go to Abhiram Thakur and take his blessings. So Srinivas Acharya was very, very eager. And he walked long distance and he reached the house of of Abhiram Thakur. Then Abhiram Thakur received Srinivas Acharya with great affection, and he said, since you have come from such a long distance, I would, and he gives him some money, some 5 paisa. This happened 500 years ago. So 5 paisa is like a huge amount at that time. And he says, please go fetch yourself some very fresh fruits and vegetables and, cook and honor your prasadam. So this is how in the earlier days they used to show respect to a guest, especially if they're brahmanas. That is, they used to give them their kitchen duly cleaned, to cook, by offering them fresh ingredients. So this is how Abhiram Thakur has told Srinivas Acharya to please go get yourself these best ingredients, and it will be a great honor if you use our home to cook and honor prasadam. So Srinivas Acharya, very much obliged by this mercy, he went to the nearby market and got all these ingredients. And then he made a nice meal, offered it to the Lord, and honored the prasadam. Sorry. Yeah. See, he cooked the meal. Sorry, here's where the whole crux is. He's cooked the meal, offered to the Lord, and just before honoring it, 4 strangers came to that place, and they said, he didn't even know them, and they said, we're feeling very hungry. It's been long that we had eaten anything. Is there anything in this home? They just asked. So at that, Srinivas Acharya was just about to honor his meal. He's also walked a long distance and came, and he was very happy to receive all this honor. So, and he cooked the meal, he offered to the Lord. And that moment when you're just about to take prasadam. So when these 4 strangers came and requested if there is any prasadam, immediately Srinivas Acharya, whatever he has prepared for himself, he gave everything away to these 4 strangers. He didn't even know them, and he didn't keep anything back for himself. So after some time, Abhiram Thakur comes and he embraces Srinivas Acharya, and with his whip, and congratulates him that actually those 4 strangers were sent by him to test his resolve for bhakti, to test his resolve for giving. Yeah, this is how bhakti is always tested by how much are we actually in the position of giving. Yeah, when we pass the test of Vaishnava Seva, that is when, we are tick marked for love of God. Yeah, the ultimate fruit of devotion. You can see in the pastime of Raghunath Acharya, when he wanted to approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did Nityananda Prabhu say? You have to serve, give a feast to all the Vaishnavas. That was a Panihati festival, right? So our bhakti is tested through the process of giving. How much we are able to give, that much we are advancing in the process of devotion or bhakti. So then, Shiva, our Abhiram Thakur was so pleased. And what did he do? He just gave a whip. With the whip, he just gave one to Srinivasacharya. And as soon as he got the whip, he began shedding incessant tears. And tears started flowing from his eyes, experiencing the ecstasy of love of God. And he whipped again, and he was like trembling with great symptoms of ecstatic love. And he wanted to give one more, and then his wife has come and said that, oh, my dear Lord, if you give more, he won't be able to handle it. So, Abhiram Thakur, respecting the words of his dear wife, he withheld himself from giving more. And Srinivasacharya, celebrating, the ecstatic love within his heart, he just left the place with offering all respects and gratitude to Abhiram Thakur for what he has received. And so this is where we see, just by offering appropriate respect and having the right attitude, even towards strangers, and Srinivasacharya could attract so much of mercy and attain the ultimate goal of life. Yeah. So that is why life is not more about merely skills and talents. It's more about attitudes that we have. Yeah, it's attitudes that take us a long way. So, and we will see some another example, especially the whole game of respect comes so much into play when we are in groups. Yeah, when we are alone or when we are just with another person, that's fine. It's more manageable. But when we are in groups, so much, especially, we come with the expectation that my opinion should always be respected. Yeah, many a times that unless also in a group where my opinion is respected, where people buy my ideas, I thrive in that group, I'm happy in that group. But if I'm in a group where my ideas are not respected or not, my thoughts are not, or my inputs are not validated, so I don't want to be in that group. Then generally this is our attitude. But let's see one beautiful example from Ramayana. Yeah, how this whole thing happens. Some exemplary qualities that are characteristics are exhibited by the different devotees. So this is the episode of Vibhishana surrendering to Lord Ram. Yeah. So Vibhishana, as we all know, who is he? Who is Vibhishana?
Ravan's brother.
Yeah, the younger brother of Ravana. So Vibhishana then went and approached Ravana. I'm sorry, approached Lord Ram, who was on the other side of the sea, of the ocean. He actually went to surrender, we all know, because Vibhishana is a very dharmic person and he's a great devotee of Lord Ram. Yeah, but none of these people knew him. So Vibhishana was just walking towards Ram. So Ram was sitting there, surrounded by all the Vanaras. So he had Sugriva on one side, he had Hanuman on the other side, and he had all the Vanaras around, Angada, Jambavan, everybody. So when Vibhishana is walking towards him, when he saw him from a long distance, Ram initiated discussion. So he asked, so now, do you see who is coming? It is Vibhishana. Why do you think he's coming to us? And what do you think we should do? Yeah. So here, Ram initiated this discussion because he wanted to call for everybody's opinion. See, Ram is the supreme personality of Godhead himself. He did not need the opinions of others. He knew everybody and he knows what's the right action at every point of time. Yeah. Even being, the Maryada Purushottam, he knew what is the exact thing, the most perfect thing to do at a given situation. Despite that, he respected, to respect the opinions of everyone, he just initiated a discussion. How do we show our respect to somebody? By actually seeking their opinion in any situation. So Ram initiated this discussion. So why do you think is he coming, and what do you think we should do? So there were different responses. Yeah, Sugriva, the head of all the king of all the Vanaras, he said, he is coming from the enemy camp. What can we expect? Just kill him. Yeah, immediately he said that. So some people said, you should imprison him. Yeah, because again, he's from the enemy camp. And some people said, no, don't kill him or imprison him. Just make friendship with him and use him as a spy to know, all the reports of the kingdom of Lanka. So, why to finish him off? Use him in our own favor. So these were the various, opinions that floated around. So when these opinions were floated around, that's when Hanuman came into the picture. Yeah. So when Hanumanji came into the picture and he was asked his opinion, he said that, there's a very beautiful description of this conversation in the Ramayana. Actually, I think we'll soon be reaching this episode in our Ramayana classes. So it's a very, very fantastic discussion. And Hanumanji says that, Hanumanji is known for his various, powers. One of the powers is by just simply looking at somebody's face, he can understand their intent. Yeah, what's in their heart. We call it face reading these days, but Hanumanji was very much he had that potency. So just simply looking at Vibhishan and his body language, he told Ram, "Oh Rama, he apparently looks like he has come to surrender to you, not to oppose you. So please give him your shelter or your mercy." So Ram was extremely pleased with the opinion of Hanumanji. And, then there's this famous shloka in the Ramayana that, I would, anybody who comes to me for shelter by surrendering themselves to me, I wouldn't see what their background is. And I give them all, not just forgiveness, but all shelter. Yeah, he said that even Ravana, for all the, great offenses that he has done, if he surrenders to me, not just, even with one of his 10 heads, if he surrenders to me, I'm willing to forgive him and actually, give him my own kingdom. This is a promise that he makes. So, in this beautiful discussion, Ram has opened the floor for the opinions of all the Vanaras. That was his respect to them. Next is Hanumanji. When Sugriva has voiced his opinion, Hanuman did not confront Sugriva, but he just respected his opinion. And when his turn he came, he humbly put forth his opinion. And most interesting part here is when Sugriva has seen that Hanumanji's opinion has pleased the heart of Lord Ramachandra, he became very happy. He didn't take any offense or grudge. Arey, see, first of all, how dare is Hanuman to speak something, which is opposite to my own opinion. And with that, Ram is pleased. That means, his opinion is better than mine. So he didn't feel, inferior, or he didn't feel some kind of a complex that my opinion is not bought, but, others' opinion is valued. So it doesn't mean that I am devalued. No, he didn't get into all those complexes. But just that an opinion of Hanuman has pleased the heart of Ram, that was sufficient for him to be very happy. He was very, very happy with that, with Hanumanji and for his opinion. So this is the beautiful, camaraderie that is shared amongst all these great souls. So so when this culture of respect is prevalent amongst devotees or amongst people, the Supreme Lord himself comes to be with them and to participate in pastimes with them. So to grow in this culture of respect is something that one has to, one should consciously cultivate. As I said, respect means respect, to look again, to take a closer look at the very same relationships we have and to cultivate certain attitudes in showing respects. So this is what we see in Ramayana. In many instances also, even Ram, when he has won the war and he's flying back to Ayodhya, on the way we see how he stops by at Rameshwaram. Why? Because he felt that, I have killed Ravana, and he's a devotee of Lord Shiva. So, to offer his due respects to Lord Shiva, he comes down at Rameshwaram and he actually looks for installing a Shivalinga. So at that time, Hanumanji goes to Kailash to bring a Shivalinga. At that time, he was delayed in reaching Rameshwaram. So at that time, Mother Sita actually makes another Shivalinga with sand. So just then, by the time she finishes, Hanumanji returns and with the Shivaling. So now two Shivalingas are there. So whom should he worship? Lord Ramchandra then, because Hanumanji went all the way to bring it, he showed his respect to that Shivaling that Hanumanji has brought, offered the worship to it. And he also worshipped the Shivaling that has been given by Mother Sita. So recently I was hearing, in one of the Vyas Puja, I was hearing that a manager means essentially they please one party and they disappoint the other party. This is what management is all about. They favor one party and they disappoint the other party. But a very intelligent manager or a very successful manager is that person who knows how to please both the parties. Yeah. So here is Ram, how he pleased both Mother Sita and Hanumanji the same time. So in this way, we see how in every dealing, Ram has been very sensitive to show respects. Yeah, even the Supreme Lord himself respects, what to speak of devotees. When in the pastime of Rukmini and Lord Krishna, Rukmini sends the Brahmana through, that beautiful letter, love letter, the first original love letter. Yeah, through the Brahmana, she sends a Brahmana to Dwaraka to meet Krishna and hand over this love letter. So when this Brahmana comes to Dwaraka and he sees Krishna, when at that time in Dwaraka, in his court palace, he was sitting on a beautiful throne, Ratna Singhasana, which is bedecked with all most opulent jewels. So he was sitting on that throne. But as soon as he saw this Brahmana who was coming towards him, he got up from his throne. He made him sit on that throne and he offered all worship to him, just as how the demigods worship himself. Yeah, so this is through example, Lord Krishna himself, is showing what is the culture of respect. Yeah, and we also see, and this is the most heart-wrenching and heart-touching, that in the Rajasuya Yajna, when the Agra Puja was performed, before receiving the Agra Puja, like all the devotees have been, everybody has been given different departments to handle. Dushasana was given the Department of Finance. Bhima and Draupadi were given the department of cooking. Yeah. And Duryodhana was given this department of, okay, I'll end here. This is the last topic. And Duryodhana was given the department of, of collecting the gifts. So it was like, he was placed in an oven where all his base, lower instinct got baked. So Duryodhana was first of all very jealous of Pandavas. And when he was placed in the gift department, gift reception, so in the Rajasuya, all the kings from different parts of the world, they gave such excellent, exceptional gifts to Yudhishthir Maharaj. And imagine Duryodhana standing there receiving all of them. And he opened and saw, hey, what is this? My God, all this. He couldn't handle his envy flared up by million times by standing in that gift reception department. So, and imagine on top of that he fell in that water of Mahasabha and Draupadi laughing at him. He couldn't, he's like just done with it. So yeah, so Duryodhana was given this department of gift reception. And Lord Krishna himself, who's the person who has received the Agra Puja, he personally went and chose to wash the feet of the guests who have come for the Rajasuya Yajna of Yudhishthir Maharaj. Can we even imagine what could be a greater, sign of respect? The Supreme Lord himself. Yeah, he was given the Agra Puja. That means Agra Puja means the most respectable person to be worshipped at Rajasuya. Rajasuya means in the whole world. Once that is performed, Yudhishthir Maharaj will be declared as the emperor of the whole world. Yeah, and the greatest of people on earth and in the heavens have descended to witness this yajna, and there he's celebrated as the most prominent person. And that very person, and that very Supreme Lord, what was the position he has taken? Simply to wash the feet of the guests who have arrived at Yudhishthir Maharaj yajna. So this is what the Supreme Lord is showing us through his beautiful personal example about the culture of respect. So I conclude my session by telling and reiterating the importance of this respect. I'll just summarize my class. We tried to define what is respect, its importance in remaining consistent in our practice of spiritual sadhana. Amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. And then we have seen different examples which showed from the Shastras when we don't respect what happens. I will hear it from you. Okay, so what are the examples that spoke about what happens when we don't show respect?
Indra, when he meets Brihaspati.
Yes, excellent. Indra, who has humiliated Brihaspati, that is one example. More?
About Balrama and his guru.
Yes, Balaram and Romaharshana Sutta. Excellent. He killed him because he didn't respect or honor the Adi Guru. Yeah.
Samba and Narada Muni.
Yeah, Samba disrespecting Narada Muni. That led to the
Daksha and Shiva.
Daksha and Lord Shiva. Yes, these are all the examples that what was from Godhead to Godhead. Yeah. So we have seen
Durvasa Muni.
Indra and Durvasa Muni. Yes. Yeah, he disrespected the garland of Durvasa Muni.
Kauravas and Pandavas.
Yes, we've seen the contrasting personalities of Kauravas and Pandavas, how respect, which is genuine, wins the heart of the person who is receiving it, but respect that is superficial and ill-motivated, finally brings about their own downfall. Yeah, this is a very, very clear example that we see, contrast that we see between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. Okay, yes, so now we will go towards the examples that showed the auspicious destination of those who have shown respects. What are the examples we have seen?
Srinivasa Acharya.
Srinivasa Acharya, that was such an amazing example. And Abhiram Thakur, yeah. So what was the name of the whip? that we've discussed about?
Jaya Mangala.
Mangal. Yes. I wish that we could get that with. Yeah. And then any other? What are the other examples? The positive examples?
And Vibhishana surrendering to Lord Ram.
Yeah, when Vibhishan was surrendering to Lord Ram, how Lord Ram has created a beautiful culture of respect by taking everybody's opinion. And then we saw how Hanuman, when Sugriva was responding, when he had a contrary opinion, he didn't advert. I mean, he was not loud about it. He just waited for the right opportunity and presented it in a very humble way. And also how Sugriva, seeing Hanuman's opinion, which is diametrically opposite to his own opinion, how when it has pleased the heart of Ram, with a very open heart, he not only accepted it, appreciated it, and congratulated Hanumanji. These are very amazing interpersonal dynamics, amazing culture of respect, right? Yeah. What are the other examples that we've seen?
Rajashu Yagya.
Yeah, the Rajasuya Yagya, how Lord Krishna has offered, he just washed the feet of the guests who have arrived for the Yagya of the Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yeah. And it's very amazing that, whenever Krishna meets the Pandavas, he always used to touch the feet of Yudhishthir. Yeah. Perfect in his, Krishna is perfect in everything that he did. Yeah, he touched the feet of Yudhishthir Maharaj because he's elder to him. And also Bhima is also elder to him. And he's to embrace Arjuna because he's almost equal to him in age. And he's to bless Nakula and Sahadeva. Yeah, every interaction of Krishna with the Pandavas is just simply amazing. And it's a perfect example of etiquette and respect. Yes, so these are the examples. I hope, just reminiscing these examples and taking a closer look at these contrasting examples of what happens when we offer appropriate respects, what is awaiting us, and when we do not respect what is awaiting us. When we understand this and imbibe the lesson that through respectful attitude, there is so much to gain either in spiritual life or in our own material life and relationships. And our own attitude towards our sadhana, towards the holy name, towards Vaishnavas, towards the people around us, towards the environment around us, yeah, towards the earth on which we are trampling every day. Yeah, every good devotees, before going to sleep in the night, offers his obeisances to the ground, to the earth, seeking forgiveness that, the whole day I have trampled upon you, kindly forgive. Yeah, this is sensitivity and this is respect and this is the attitude which makes a Vaishnava. So I hope this will help in some way to enhance our own approach towards the sacred process of bhakti, and cultivating which we gain an entrance, Bhakti Pravesa. Thank you all very much. I will end the session here. Any questions, queries? It's already 8:40.
Mataji, I have one question.
Yes.
It says bhakti is the process of giving, and there will be tests that how much we can give, right? So sometimes, because sometimes we may feel like we need to receive something. We have to fill ourselves with that much positivity when we are in some negative situations and we cannot give. We don't feel like giving. We want to take that inspiration, or we want to receive some love so that we can give it to others. So how to deal with that situation, or how to fill ourselves with that love, or to process that I will receive it now and I'll give it later. So how to do that?
Very beautiful question, Vandita. Very beautiful, very genuine, very honest question. I really appreciate what you've asked. So I would say one example when it's a plant, what does it do? When it, as a seedling, somebody sows in the ground and it germinates, it becomes a little sapling. So at that time, what does this tender sapling do? It just takes nourishment from the ground. It takes water that has been offered to it. It takes sunlight. Yeah. And not just that, how much care it needs. The Mali comes, and especially there are some special plants for which you have to fence them against predators. Yeah. Regularly water them. So if you see in the initial stages, what is this tender sapling doing? It's just taking and taking. Yeah. But when the same plant grows up and becomes a huge tree, what does it do? It just gives, and it does not require any amount of that much of care. Yeah. It's just in the process of giving. Yeah. It gives fruits, it gives shade, it gives flowers, it gives whatnot. Yeah. So during the process of growing, one should take. That's the nature. A disciple takes from this, or a student takes from the teacher. A child takes from the parent. Yeah. Heart full, stomach full, take, grab. In fact, mercy, you have said, like the last session I was speaking about, you have to just grab mercy wherever it is present. Yeah. And if you see in the example of Srinivas Acharya also, he went all the way to Abhiram Thakur to get whipped. Why? He wanted the love of God. So when you're in the process of taking, take fully. Yeah, just like how the plant takes everything. A time comes when you cannot hold it, and you're like, it has become so much that you really want to share. So giving is a natural process. It's not a mandatory, kind of a input. Yeah, it's not a mandation. It's a bhakti. When you take so much into your heart, it becomes uncontainable. You want to share it with others. So that's when the giving starts. So it's a natural process. We need not hurry through the stages, and we give when we are really inspired to give. Until then, take as much, take more, take as much as you want, take more and more. Be in the process of taking itself until you're content.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Any other question?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. It was
Dandavat.
class,
Yes.
Mataji. Thank you so much. I got so many inputs from you today. So I had one question that, like you told about the manager, that they will favor one person and they will unfavor one person, and the
Okay.
manager is the one who favors everyone. So like so in the company, like the manager means like they will do partiality, and they will find faults with someone even if they are doing good or something. So like in that way, if we think, okay, Krishna has some plan and Krishna want me to tolerate all these things and all, like it's like a daily process. So I wanted to just know, like, if that is happening, the partiality or whatever the faults finding the manager is doing, so in that time, like how we need to think and how we need to tolerate, and then how we need to respect them back to a manager or whoever the person, whoever the employee. So how we need to see and respect.
Very good question. So dealing with the material world is, recently I've heard a very, very wonderful statement by my Guru Maharaj, that we deal with the temporary realities in the light of the eternal truths. So let me explain this to you. So the manager showing this kind of a biased behavior, or some probably in through the mode of corrections or through the mode of inappropriate methodologies, or that might be hurting somebody's sensitivities, while being, disproportionately partial to somebody else, probably. So these are all, the natural ways and dualities of this material world. Yeah. But when our heart is fixed in the eternal truths, in the eternal supreme Lord Krishna, Krishna is telling in the Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priya ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mai te teshu chapriham. That is, Samoham sarva bhuteshu. It means for me, everybody is equal. Name dveshosti na priya. Neither do I hate anybody, nor is anybody dear to me. Ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya. Whoever approaches me with devotion, I reciprocate accordingly. So only Krishna can be like that. Our manager cannot be like that. Managers are not samoham sarva bhuteshu. Yeah, they have their own personal biases, and especially if that person is not a pure devotee of the Lord. Even in the stages of sadhana bhakti and all, a person cannot have this vision of samoham sarva bhuteshu. Yeah, of equal vision, where a person is able to see everybody as equal. Yeah. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Svapake Cha Pandita Samadarshana. Is with Vidya and Vinaya, through education and through Vinaya, one is able to see equal, everybody is equal, not just a learned person or a chandala, but also a dog, an elephant, or a cow. This equal vision comes when is Paramatma realized. But in our day-to-day lives, when we are dealing with ordinary people like our managers, etc., first thing is we cannot expect any idealistic behavior from them. We need to empathize that, yes, they are fighting their own dualities. Yeah. Treating somebody as one I favor and somebody as whom I don't favor. So they are subject to their own conditioned mind. So these are the people whom I'm dealing with. So what is coming out through them is expected, being out of their conditioned nature. So when we have this understanding fixed that, if there is somebody who's truly impartial, that is Lord Krishna himself. So it is in him that I invest my emotion. It is through him that I expect that impartiality, and not from the people of this world because they're conditioned. So when we have this discrimination, set and fixed in our view, many things fall in place. Yeah, because our expectations become very clear. And then how do we handle what's coming through such people? So there are some sessions of mine, how to deal with toxic people, especially in work environment. Maybe I can elaborate on that on some other session. But yeah, there are different kinds of people. Understanding the nature of that person and how to deal with that person will help. So always we come back to our so one of the questions which people most often ask is, especially when we speak about humility, they say that if I show this humble nature at workplace, they all trample upon me. Yeah, they take me for granted, they take me for a ride. And all other people, trampling upon me, they go to higher positions, but I'm stuck in the same place. So this is where it's like a kind of misapplication. So humility does not mean that, we just say that, oh, I don't deserve anything, I don't deserve a promotion also. No, humility is being very true to oneself, representing oneself in one's true colors, in one's true nature. Yeah. So according to time, place, and circumstances, one adopts a particular way of dealing with people by understanding their nature and understanding my own sensitivities. Yeah, one should also respect one's own self-esteem, one's dignity, and see how things are affecting, so that one can draw lines and not let others encroach upon us, and also deal with other people by being assertive. Yeah, by not being very passive, but not being aggressive, but being assertive. Yeah, especially this assertive communication is something that will really help in dealings in professional places. Yeah, so I think that is one of our sessions in Sadachar, fine speech. During that time, I will tell about how to have assertive communication, yeah, in a way that we communicate our need. At the same time, we are not very aggressive. Yeah, we are willing to adjust. At the same time, we are not passive. So this is a fine balance in our personality we make in a way that we don't become unnecessarily affected by people who are around us who take undue advantage of us. Okay, so during the course of this lectures, you will learn certain skills. Is it fine, Navya? Navya, your name is Navya, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Could that answer your question?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. Any other? Okay, I think we will end the session because it's almost 1.5 hours. So thank you all very much for taking your valuable time and attending the session. And I sincerely pray that this helps in your own journey in the process of Bhakti. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. You want to say something? Okay. Thank you. Hari Bol. Thank you, Meghna. Thank you. Navya, Supriti Mai, Radhamati ji, Adarsh Singh ji. Yeah, Adarsh Singh ji had one question. How to manage our day as we are not able to chant God name as busy in coaching and lectures, studies. Okay. Adarsh Singh ji, are you still there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. So how do you manage? Chanting is a simple process of, you can start with one round, which is about 10 minutes. So 10 minutes a day, we all can manage. Can we? So start with 10 minutes and eventually the experience which you get through that will take you to the next level. So at least because, we receive so much from God through the sunlight, through the moonlight, through the vegetables that we are eating, and everything around us has been given to us by God. So when we take out time to acknowledge and express our gratitude, yeah, by remembering Him through the sacred process of chanting. Chanting is the most effective way in this age of Kali to connect our consciousness to the divine. Yeah, there is no other process as effective as the chanting of the holy names of God. Yeah, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalau nashteva, nashteva, nashteva gatiranya. Kali Santaran Upanishad says in this age of Kali, the process of chanting the holy name is the only means of attaining the highest perfection. There is no other way. Kalau nashteva, nashteva, nashteva. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So when we understand that this is how important this dharma of mine is, to chant the holy names of the Lord, we can, from the 24 hours that God has given us, 10 minutes we can give Him. Yeah. So just like, the parent always gives the child everything and everything. But as a child grows, the child just gives something back to the mom or dad. Sometimes my daughter, on a small greeting card, she just writes, "I love you, mom," and she gives. Yeah. So it really pleases the parents so much, right? So similarly, when we understand how much God is giving us, a small acknowledgement through the process that He has given us will mean a lot. Yeah, so just take out 10 minutes. Chanting is a simple process. You just have to know the mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And you chant this mantra on the beats 1 or 2 times. That will be one round. This is just simply a process of 7 to 10 minutes. Yeah, so that is something you can do in any given situation. I hope that could answer you. Adarshi,
Yes, Mataji.
all the best. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Lankita, from